impossible to capture how fast we actually got this motor put in here, because we are very happy and very good with LS motors. So this one is a Gen 4. We had the Gen 3 harness in here before, so our cam sensor plug is on the front of the timing cover as opposed to the rear of the motor, and it's a 3X versus a 1X pickup, and the crankshaft is a 24X versus a 58X. So we got everything swapped over. We modified our Holley harness to work with the new stuff. So we swapped everything over from the drive-by-wire throttle body to the drive-by cable, just because that's how everything was set up before, and we only had the regular Holley terminator, not Terminator X. And we also swapped everything over to Corvette accessories on this motor. Makes more sense because our other rental car with an LS is also a Corvette, so now we can just keep things in stock like belts and alternators and power steering pumps and stuff like that. That'll only be for the LS for the Corvette. So now the parts will interchange between the two, and also if one breaks, we can use parts from one to fix the other. Texas Speed was nice enough to hook us up with this crate LS3. Already has a cam in it, already has hardened push rods, upgraded valve springs and all that, which is great because we didn't have to open this motor up at all. It came dressed pretty much from the intake manifold down to the oil pan. We did end up swapping the pan for the Sicky pan just for cross-member clearancing and stuff like that, but it's nice to get a motor and not have to mess with anything, adding camshafts, changing lifters, especially if you get something higher mileage, you never really know what you're getting into. So having a nice new crate motor from Texas Speed definitely takes a lot of worries away. So everybody seems to be concerned about this motor and us not running it on a dry sump. We have had a lot of luck with Canton pans and Sicky pans where we ran them for several seasons with just an AccuSump. The AccuSump is nice because if there is ever a drop in oil pressure, it'll prime your motor with an extra 3 quarts of oil until the oil pressure restores. And it also helps it because you won't dry start the motor, so when you turn on the ignition, it'll actually dump whatever oil pressure is in there into the engine, which also helps with, you know, bearing clearancing and everything like that. The dry sump is an awesome option to have. You can rev the engine a little bit higher, and obviously it is more reliable. Most off-the-shelf people are not going to be able to afford to run a dry sump setup on these motors. So as long as you have a properly baffled pan and you're not doing like ridiculously high speed entries and backies and stuff like that, it's usually not a problem. And also with the rear sump pan, it helps too, because typically when you accelerate, all the oil is going to go towards the rear of the motor. So with this, it's a lot easier than it is with the S chassis. But even with like Savio, we had a Junkyard 6.0 with an LS3 top end. We just ran a front sump Canton pan. We had that motor in that car for 2.5 years on every track that you can imagine. Never had an issue. We didn't even run an AccuSump on it. So as long as you have a good pan, you don't really need the dry sump system. But it does help. Mosquitoes out here are real. This is better than bug spray right here. They hate it. I love it.
It's arms?
This is arms to replace what Duarte broke on his. So, upgrade to some fresh Serial 9 arms,
You know?
and see if they break.
They won't.
It's a jump. Everything's gonna break.
They won't. You can break if you want to.
They won't break. You can break if you want to. Because if your friends don't stance, and if they don't stance, then they're no friends of mine. Oh. Fancy boys. Billet. So there is no longer an eccentric. There's a bit more meat on these. So we got Duarte's aftermath from the jump, and it ripped right out of the end on this side. And then, where's my other arm that I took? Right here. This arm bent all sideways. It was starting to rip out and oval out all the holes. So now, we got fresh Serial 9 stuff gonna go on. After I make slight modifications, I just have to shave down one of these a little bit to make it so it slides into here a bit better so I don't mar up all the aluminum on it. Get it on there. It'll be good. Ready to go again. Hit the jump one more time. No. No jump. Jump's done. No more jump.
Why do you move the car forward and back?
Just to let everything settle, so then you get a proper reading. When you do your toe plates,
So we had some header clearancing issues and stuff, so we overnighted a couple fittings that we got, so they actually come right over here, 90 degrees straight out of our oil filter housing. And now for some heat management, because we have a nice motor in here instead of a junkyard motor, we got this nice Mishimoto. It's going to be mounted like this, but we're going to put it right there on the bottom of our bracket, which we already had for our power steering cooler. So everything's kind of lined up and get a little additional oil capacity, as well as, you know, having this sweet Johnny up front. So these things are lined with really small fins in them. So usually whenever your engine blows or something pops, I definitely recommend replacing your oil cooler, because all kinds of little fragments and stuff you can't get to no matter how many times you rinse it out, sonic clean it, whatever. It's much cheaper to buy a new oil cooler after you blow something up than it is to buy another new motor. So definitely recommend replacing this, and usually most of your hoses and stuff like that as well after you pop a motor.
So we got all of our fittings from the Drift HQ parts trailer. Nice and handy to have here. So we got 290 10ANs, a 45 10AM, and a 120. So hopefully that'll be able to get our oil cooler and everything hooked up. Then this motor is even closer to starting. Hopefully today.
And the fine adjustments.
Joel, we are not filming the fine adjustments that I am about to make with this.
No?
They are not to be filmed.
Alright, Chris, see the fruits of your labor in the dark.
Yeah, we'll see. We got pretty much everything wrapped up in terms of oil and fuel system, and all the old components swapped over. We did have to modify a bunch of stuff for the oil lines to fit. Now we are just testing to see if it fires up. Put a base tune in through the Holly, which is really easy. Just plug in your injector sizes, engine displacement, and all that. And we're open headers right now, so we still have to put the exhaust on. But you know, it's dark, it's late. We want to have a victory today. So let's see. Come on. You only got 11 volts, bud.
Yeah, this drops to 11.3. Alright, we'll just start it in the morning. Too lazy to run all the way over and grab more.
Most of the way done. We still have 2 days, which is fine because we still have to get the car tuned as well. We're running. Good morning. We got some daylight now and there's less mosquitoes, so we're gonna give this another go. We got the jump pack charged. If that's not enough, we got Duarte's big old diesel truck. Yeah.
All the power.
13.4. Fuel pump on. 13.1. And she starts. She sounds pretty damn rowdy. That thing jumped right up to like 1,500 RPMs and settled back down to like 950 where we set the target item. But damn, does she sound good. Woo!
Rowdy.
You love to see it.
What am I doing? I'm getting our headlight restoration kit out. It just so happens my dad owns a headlight restoration company, so the lights on this Corvette are bad. So I'm here, I'm gonna restore them. Bring them back. So in here, you get your 2 pads, 3 steps of product, then you get all your sandpaper.
How was that going?
It's a big day today.
Big day.
Restoring headlights.
Get stuff done.
Is this a Drift HQ kit?
No, this is my dad has a headlight restoration company.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
So
Good color. Good color.
and drill, yeah.
Jeez, how much is this?
$30.
This is only 30 bucks?
Yeah.
How the hell is this only 30 bucks? Price is right. 20 bucks, $3.99. Where's it? I'd say it's about $4.99. This thing's gotta be 20 bucks itself.
And products,
And the products, 4 bucks, 4 bucks,
sandpaper.
$2 for the sandpaper. It's a bargain. It's a bargain.
We're gonna get
Now
some
we gotta
done.
link this, you know, the whole ass infomercial with freaking Jimmy Oates. Pay him royalties too.
He's getting you right. You gotta do him right, you know?
Yeah, people actually commented saying like, oh, how bad the headlights look.
Oh yeah, just wait. But the paint's nice, so once you do the headlights, it's gonna be like, whoa. If it's not on the inside, it might be on the inside.
A little bit of that is on the inside.
It's a lot
but
bit of that's on the inside. We might need this might not be a good demonstration here, boys.
that one's all on the outside.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Sure can. So we are on part 2 of our Big Duck Club wide body kit. We have it all painted. Joel went and picked it up today, so it's ready to get mounted. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna drill and nutsert all of the self-tappers, and then we're gonna remount the body kit, and I'm gonna find out exactly where I need to shave on the front fenders and the rear fenders to have clearance. Only the best for Hert. And Milwaukee titanium tips, boy. All right guys, so what I'm using to attach the over fenders to the body is I'm using an M5 nutsert. And I use the aluminum ones because they crush a lot easier than the stainless steel ones. Yeah, the stainless steel ones are nice. They probably cost a little bit more money, but you have to squeeze on them so hard to actually get them to crush. So with the aluminum ones, it's really nice and easy. It don't take any leverage or any pressure whatsoever. You'll feel it squeeze. Screw it on there all the way. And if you look real quick, Joel, you'll see that there is a spot where there's no threads. That's actually the amount that you want it to crush. So you thread it all the way up to there, so it just pinches on the metal. So end up going on there. I already started without Joel a little bit. Make sure it's flat and just squeeze it, and you'll start to feel pressure build up, and that's when you want to stop. Give it a little wiggle, unscrew it, and it's nice and easy. It takes about the same amount of time it does to do a rivet, except for if you ever need to replace or take off the body panel to get to something, you don't have to drill a whole bunch of rivets out and then re-rivet it. You can literally just unscrew it. I'm gonna keep plugging away, and we're gonna get this body kit done tonight because we have to move all the cars in the morning to OSW. So it's like 5 o'clock now, and I just get to start on the car. We still have to cut all the arches in the fenders, front and rear, mold it with aluminum to keep any of the smoke from coming into the car, and fit it. So it should be a good long night. In about 30 minutes, my girlfriend's gonna bring me some beer to enjoy the evening while I do this. And I'm very excited. It's Friday. Let's make it happen. Joel's gonna stay here late with me.
Well, we got, Craig was here late last night. He got the Big Duck Club kit all mounted for us, got the underbody of the car all chopped up so everything's clearance well. Donnie's running the last little line we need for the PCB system, and we got Adam running the computer for the dyno today, so we're going to see what it makes.
Adam's big LS guy.
Big LS. He tunes LSs now. Look at him.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. We've got Derek, bootleg Burton, from Connecticut. I'm tired, pardon me. He's like the man when it comes to LS stuff. He's got like crazy fast drag cars. He knows Holly like the back of his head. So he's on here. He's like, "Yep, it'll take me 2 minutes and we'll have this thing working." Drift car.
Alright, so we're pretty much done with our tuning now. We pretty much maxed out our injectors. They're just stock LS3 injectors that came with the crate. Ended up with, what was it, 470 horsepower, 420 pounds of torque, which is more than enough for this thing as a rental. You gonna start it? He's gonna make noises now. The next time you see this thing, it'll be ripping at the LZ Invitational. Watch.